Hey guys, welcome to the video, and in today, as you can see on the screen, I am doing a Spurs versus Man United combined 11. As I am a United fan and we do have Spurs this weekend, I thought it'd be a good time to bring back the combined 11 team. Now the rules are any players that are injured cannot be put in the combined 11. So people like Madison, people like Dominic Solanke, Lozano Martinez cannot be put into the 11. So it does kind of give you a little bit of a thing to think about. But there must be at least 3 players of the opposite team. So I can't have 11 Spurs players. I can't put. There must be a combined 11. As always, we're bringing back the pitch, going position by position. I'm going to read some stats out, and that's how I'm going to base it. And I'm going to give you the reason why I chose that players. Moving into the goalkeeper position, we've got Vicario versus Lam Samans. Vicario played 10 games. He's had 4 clean sheets, conceded 8 goals, but has had a save. His total saves so far this season are 34, compared to Lemans, who's only played 4 games, joined in the transfer window at the end of the transfer window. Clean sheet 1, goals conceded 5, saves 12. So obviously Vicario has had more games to play, and obviously has been in the Prem longer. But I think the way some Lamens has come in to Man United has revolutionised Man United. Obviously 10 times, 100 times better than Onana. If it was Onana versus Vicario, money would be on Vicario to start in this combined 11. However, I'm going with Lamans in the goal position just because I think he's come in, he's made Man United better. You know, Vicario, yes, he's played more games, and that meant his averages have been up. But I just think Simmons in goal. Moving into the left back role, we've got Gent Spence versus Dogu. Now, obviously, Man United don't really play a back 4. I forgot to say it's going to be a 4-3-3. So it obviously is hard to have players in positions. This one is based on XG. Both have played 9 games. Spence has had a 0.18 XG and a XA of expected assist of 0.21 and has had 2 yellow cards. Compared to Dogu, on the other hand, who has had a XG of 0.57, a XGA of 0.57, and has had picked up 3 yellow cards. Obviously, it's a different system that Dogu plays, but I'm going. Well, actually, you'll see who I go with. Moving into the right back roles. Again, no Mazarari, Porro or Dallo. Porro 10 games, Dallo 8. XG of 0.12 for Porro, a 0 XG of 0.09 for Dallo, XGA of 1.2 for Porro because he's on set piece, corners. Dallo 0.86, I think that's however he does have 1 assist where Porro doesn't. But I'm going with Dogu on the left back and I'm going Pedro Porro on the right. Personally, I would have gone in Doggy had he been fit on the left. Luke Shaw, not good. You can move Dallo to left back, but I think if it was a fully fit 11, the left back would be Udogie and the right back would be Porro. However, we're basing on this season injuries and as well that avoid, and therefore we're going Dorgu and Porro. Into the centre backs, we've got Cristiano Romero versus De Ligt. Romero, 8 games played, XG of 0.1 as a defender, XG8 of 0.24. He has got 1 assist. He's picked up 3 yellow cards so far. De Ligt, he's got 10 played games, XG of 0.89 because he is a threat on in corner plays, a 0A of 0.47 and no yellow cards from De Ligt. To be honest, I think this could cause controversial decision on who you pick. Personally, I don't see what Romero brings. Like, I think if you put Romero in Atletico Madrid or something like that, he's very, very good. I think in Spanish football, he'd dominate. In the Prem, I think he's not that great. De Ligt, has played at high levels. Juventus, did well at Ajax. Obviously, his time at United has been questioned under different managers and stuff. But we're basing it on this season, not what they've done through previous seasons. And the other option is Van de Ven versus Lenny Euro. Now, Van de Ven, 10 games played, 1.55 XG, and has scored 3 goals for Spurs this season. 0.80 XA of 0.25 and 2 yellow cards. As Lenny Loro has played 10 games, 0.28 XG and a 0 XA of 0.06. No cards. I think this one's a no-brainer in the centre-back options. I think I do like Van de Ven. For FPL reasons, he's stunk, but I'm keeping hold of him because he can do something. And therefore, my back 4 looks like this. Dogu, Van de Ven, De Ligt and Porro. Now, I think that is a solid back 4 combination. Obviously, like I said, fully fit or Doggy would be at left back, meaning only De Ligt would come into that back 3. Would be the one change in that back 4. But I do like that. Moving into the midfield, I've put up 6 midfielders, and we're going position by position. So we're playing a 4-3-3. So I've gone with a holding, a centre mid, and a more attacking. And I've tried to pick the best 3 I think for Spurs has, and the best 3 Man United has. Because what I don't want to do is let's drop Bruno into centre mid, and I've looked at it and gone, this is the best options for each side. I personally think, with injuries aside, and there's back and forth. So in the centre defensive mid role, it's going to be João Palhinha versus Ngate. 10 games for Palhinha, a 0.61 XG on goals. He has scored 2 goals. A XA of 0.3. He has 1 assist. As Ngate, 8 matches played, XG of 0.05, a XA of 0.04. So the XG is definitely on Palhinha's side. I'm actually very impressed by João Palhinha coming into the Spurs side. When they signed him, I thought, he's not good. Like, don't get me wrong, I liked him when he was playing for Fulham. He went to Bayern, didn't really do anything. And he obviously, you could see he hadn't played for a while. He fell out with the team. And I thought, Spurs have gone in for him. It's a bad signing. But he come in, done very well. And I think he's a good addition to what Spurs. Next in the centre mid role, not the holding, but the box to box kind of midfield, I've gone Bergvall versus Kobbie Mainoo. Now, obviously, I don't know why Amrin doesn't play Kobbie Mainoo. I think, and Spurs fans in the comments might be saying, Spurs, you want Mainoo. We know you've put in a bid for him in September. So he's a player that's on your radar. So you can't say he's worse, he's rubbish, because you do want him. We saw what he's done for Man United in the past under Ten Hag. The way he came into Man United at the age of 18, controlled the midfield, went on to play for England in the Euros, yes. And you could see he's a world class talent. I just don't know why he's not getting played. Obviously, the system maybe doesn't help, but definitely a definitely world class talent. Bergvall, on the other hand, has impressed. I'll give him that. He's played 9 games for Spurs, and I think for Bergvall it depends on the midfield three that he plays, whether he starts or is off the bench. The man next to him, Sarr, is again another. Does he play? Who's the partner in the midfield three? That is what Spurs questioned. Obviously, Bergvall 9 games, XG of 0.59, a XA of 0.23, 1 goal and 1 assist. Mainly on the other hand has played 7 games, not scored, not really created anything. His XG is very low because of only being subs. And then the final 3 is Sarr versus Bruno Fernandes. Sarr has impressed me. Let's not get this wrong. He's very good. 9 games, XG of 0.73, a XA of 0.82, 2 goals and 2 assists. On the other brand, Bruno, matches 10, XG of 4.37, a XA of 1.78, 76, 2 goals, 2 assists. Bruno Fernandes, we know how much he creates for Man United, how important he has been for Man United, and I do think it's a little bit unfair on Sarr coming against Bruno, but I've done this midfield based on what they position. Palhinha more defensive and Sarr more attacking. Now obviously you could say maybe Sarr could play centre mid, but I've gone with what I think the best 3 are for Spurs and the best 3 that are Man United in each position. So a CDM, a centre mid and Cam. And my final 3 decisions are a midfield of João Palhinha at CDM, Kobbie Mainoo at centre mid, and an attacking Cam / more attacking midfielder of Bruno Fernandes. I think the only one you could question and fans could get annoyed with is Kobbie Mainoo, but I think if you are taking this on as neither Man United or Spurs fan, I think you probably would pick Mainoo just because he's how good he is, his talent, his ceiling. He's played for England. He's shown that he can compete with midfields of Rice and Bellingham, Rodgers, Palmer. He's been for England a standout player, and I just think the system is what hinges Kobbie Mainoo this season. In a normal 4-3-3 like this, I think he would thrive. We know Spurs want him, so I don't want to hear Spurs say, "Oh, Mainoo shouldn't be in this team." Like, you want to buy Mainoo, you've put in 2 bids for him. So my midfield is going to be Palhinha, Mainoo, and Bruno, which means we're moving into a left wing position. Again, we know Man United don't have a out and out left winger. Obviously, the likes of Rashford away from the club. Garnacho has been sold, so we don't have a out and out winger, and we don't play with a winging position. So we put Matheus Cunha, who obviously played left wing for Wolves, against Xavi Simons. Now, Xavi Simons can play cam, but I think most of his games since joining Spurs have been from the left with cutting into the midfield, and kind of like Bruno Cunha. They're both really the same kind of thing. Starts out wide and wants to cut in. Matches played for Xavi Simons is 7. Now, I'm not counting European games because obviously United aren't in that, unfortunately, due to Spurs. We don't need to talk about that. But we're only doing Prem. So, 7 matches played, 0.28 XG, a 0.60 XA, no goals, 1 assist. As Cunha, 9 matches played, XG of 1.55 and a XA of 0.91. And he has 1 goal, no assist. So they both got 1 contribution to their team. Cunha's stats are better on the XG and on the XA. I think both have been pretty disappointing. I think Cunha's been better than Simons, but Cunha's not lived up to the hype that I would want him to have. So hopefully he does go on to do good things for United. And then on the right, we've got Kudus versus Mbemo. We'll give the stats for both players. Kudus, 10 games, XG of 1.49. Very good. A XA of 1.33. Goals 1, 4 assists. Obviously, we knew how poor he was at West Ham last season. It was a gamble for Spurs to go for him, but I think it's paid off. I think it's a good signing so far. I do think he is a bit hot and cold. And maybe this is just FPL bias coming into this, because I had him at the start, didn't do anything for me. I got rid of him and he went on to do some score and assist, and then has gone back to blanking. As Mbemo, pre-season, people were mocking him. He's not match fit, but he's kicked on. His stats are matches 10 played, XG of 2.97, a XA of 2.52, a goal, 4 goals, 1 assist. So they both got the same contributions, 1 goal and 4 assists for Kudus. So 5 contributions, and Mbemo on the hand, 4 goals, 1 assist on his side. So they both got 5 combined together. For the wingers, I'm going for Mbemo on the right, Xavi Simons on the left. So we're going 1 from each side. I think Xavi Simons, as much as he's not been impressive, I think his ceiling is higher. I've seen what he's done for Leipzig, he's got that quality, and I think again for both players, obviously he's played less games. Cunha obviously has better XG and XA. However, I don't think he is technically a left winger, as he plays as a 10, and that is why I've decided to go Xavi Simons, which leaves the forward line. And this is hard because both sets of strikers are pretty poor. And I've gone for Kolo Muani versus Sesko. Obviously, Xerxes out of the question for Man United, rubbish. Højlund gone. On Spurs' side, Solanke is injured. And so it was either Moani or Richarlison. I think you've brought in Moani because Richarlison isn't the man. So I think it's a very not good toss up, but about the same level. Carolo Moani obviously has only played 3 games. His XG is 0.13, XA of 0.04. Sesko, on the other hand, matches 10, XG of 1.97, XA of 0.17. Has scored 2 goals and has assist. So has obviously played more games. Obviously, I think neither of them have really hit the ground running. I watched the Champions League game for Spurs the other night. Very good. However, Moani didn't really live up to expectations. Had a couple of chances and didn't bury any of them. So I'm going with the strike force of Sesko. Now, if Solanke had been fit, I would go Solanke up top. But out of the 3 options, Sesko, Kolo Muani and Richarlison, I do think Sesko is a little bit better. Not much better, but I think his ceiling's better. Obviously, what he's done before joining Man United, he was impressive. A lot of teams wanted him, and they see why. He's just not really had the chances. But hopefully he can go on and do well. That is my combined 11. I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know in the comments down below what you would rank this team out of. Do you think I've made the right decisions? If not, who would you have picked in a 4-3-3 team? And finally, before we end it, I'm going for a 2-1 win for Manchester United. That is going to be my predictions for Saturday. Let me know in the comments down below what your predictions are for the final score. And if you did like this combined 11 style videos, then maybe I will do some more. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment down below, and thank you for watching, guys. Goodbye. Come on, United. Come on, United. Come on, United. 2-1. Let's go.